we just do this on Sunday? I kind of thought that. I thought we did this already. And then someone texted me and they go, what about the Monday victory stream? And I thought to myself, because that's what I say to myself when I talk to myself. How about the Victory Monday stream? Because we didn't lose. We are undefeated in every bye week. I like everyone to repeat that. We are the New York Giants. While they may suck on primetime, we are now undefeated on every single bye week. I got to fix the camera here a little bit. I was a little bit late running into the show. I'm always late. If I wasn't on time, I'd be late. What do we got up in here already? We got Mike Lee saying, good evening, fellow cult members. Smash the like button. It's Armando. Hello. My name is Armando. ¿Dónde está la baño, por favor? Oh, what's up, my brother? I missed you, my man. I'm ready for Tyrod to come back. I think he is a good fit with DJ out for the season. I think DeVito, but he's not. I like DeVito, but he's not started getting right, and he has a lot of learning to do. Let's go, J-Man. Well, we don't know the situation fully on Tyrod Taylor just yet. You know, we got to kind of wait and see what's going to go on. He's returned to practice. So the window of opportunity for him to return to an assignment has been open. He is practicing, so potentially, you never know. He could come back this week. Would that be a boondoggle for the New York Giants, or would we just like to stick with, you know, who we'd like to stick with? Because we just Jersey Shore. Tommy.
Wait for the beat to drop.
Because we just love that. Mr. McCormick saying, what's up, my brother? Everything's going good. Mike Lee says, I think Tyrod gives the Giants a better chance of winning. Let's see how Tommy does as more film is on him. Don't think Tyrod is back next year. I don't think Tyrod's back next year. I have a video coming out on Wednesday. And I don't want to tip the hand of the video a little bit because it's just an awesome video. But my thought process is the same thing. Shane is like, well, you know what? We could also bring back that unrestricted free agent we have. The problem is, does he want to come back? That's my first question right off the bat. Does he want to come back, Tyrod? If I was Tyrod and I was as old as I am, not like he's freaking ancient, but I would want to go to a situation where I have a better opportunity to win. Do a quick preview of the video coming out, I believe, on Wednesday. You gotta love it. I love the new video for Wednesday. This is, of course, the thumbnail for Wednesday. This is Wednesday's thumbnail for the video. So it's going to be a fun video. Make sure you all stay tuned for it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be different. I did a lot of, we got it in great conversation about the video. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully everyone will have the opportunity to watch it and see it. It's going to be awesome. Mike Lee also says a lot of next year's moves will depend on the Chicago trades Fields and if we get them. Here's the thing about Justin Fields that I don't think anyone's talking about. I talked about this on Sunday. If I'm the Giants, I offer a 3 and a 6. And then I take that first pick and I either go get a wide receiver and I go get a tackle. Or I go to get a tackle. Or I use my first 3 picks on wide receivers and tackles and kind of shore up maybe potentially shore up the linebacking core. And let Justin Fields is more Josh Allen-esque. Is he Josh Allen? No, he's not Josh Allen. He's not even fucking close to Josh Allen. But he's more Josh Allen-esque. He does more things that Josh Allen does that Daniel Jones can never do. And you're going to be picking him up on his 4th year of his contract. You have a 5th-year option. So you don't have to, you can do a Jalen Hurts type situation where you pick up the 5th-year option. Well, Jalen Hurts didn't have a 5th-year option. It was a 2nd-round pick. But you could do the same situation where you could pick up the 5th-year option, have 2 years with Justin Fields, see what you have. And at the same time, you can be departing at the end of those 2 years, getting rid of Daniel Jones, and you may have found your quarterback of the future. We got a 3 for 3. Timmy, Zach Attack. What's up, Zach? Attention, all edition. New York Giants. Check out Jim's other podcasts, such as Get Off of 3&D and Get Off My Lawn, The Mad Ramblings of a Gen Xer. Everyone on podcasts are available. And Zach knows they are powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Antonio Weaver says, told you, Tim. Lol, told you the Giants are going to start winning games. They dropped them the way down to the 15th pick in the draft. Here's my thing. I said this Sunday. I am fearful for Tommy DeVito on Sunday. You got the Packers coming off a big win against the Chiefs. The love child looks like he's playing well. You have a defense that has an opportunity to study the last 3 weeks of film of Tommy Top Gun DeVito. And at the end of the day, I just think it's going to be a bad game for Tommy. I think it's a crash down to earth game. I hope to God I'm 100% wrong. But if you go back through the articles of NFL history and look at these types of situations, look at these types of games, this is a crash back to earth game. And I just hope we don't end up that way. But I just kind of have a feeling that the winning euphoria is gonna die down a little bit. Pete Tyrod, what's up, my brother? How you doing, my friend? Everything's going good. We got Big Chris in his house also saying what's going on. We got the other Chris dropping in saying good evening, Tim. Love Tommy Cutlets in for another week. I'm not disliking Tommy. Like I said, I don't dislike Tommy. I think Tommy, like I said, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I just hope the same people that are hyping him up right now are not going to be the same people that are going to be tearing him down when he goes 11 for 25 with 3 interceptions. That's the only thing I always say to people. You can build up your God. You can build up your false idol. But then at the end of the day, are you going to be the one that tears it down when it turns out to be not what you expected it to be? The true fan doesn't. The true fan sticks with what he knows. But that's what I always question. So we got Mr. Alvarez says, which quarterback will give us a higher pick in the draft? Put the guy out there. Top 5 picks coming, baby. If you're looking for a higher pick, you're going to have to go with Tommy. Tyrod can mess things up. The Admiral says, thank God the Knicks are back. Would you pay $30 million for Mr. Quickly? Base salary. I would actually pay. I would have given Quick the extension, but he's a restricted free agent. He's not going anywhere. And unless someone pulls a insanity and puts a poison pill in the contract, he's not going anywhere. Zagatek says, what is your opinion on Caleb not playing in the Holiday Bowl? Not surprised, not shocked. How many quarterbacks and how many other position players have come out and missed bowl games? There, for certain players, especially if you're going to be in a top 5 situation with the NFL draft and you don't go out to the game, normally I get on their asses. But if you're in that situation, we've seen it. We've seen it happen. There was a certain Notre Dame linebacker who played for the Giants who wrecked his career in some regards by playing in that bowl game for Notre Dame. So, like I said, I'm okay with it. I'm more upset at Florida State not getting in. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Todd says we shouldn't pay any quarterback that way. Jets and Pats are tanking. We need to crank up the tank and stand with it. We need to stick. We got to crank up the tank. I love it. We got to crank up the tanking. Roy says, peace chat. Checking in from Indian land, South Carolina via the South Bronx. What's up, Roy? How you doing, my friends? Let's see. We've got 34-year-olds. Todd says 34-year-olds gets hurt every year. I'd retire too. I'd probably if I'm the guy, if I'm Tyrod, I would hang. What do you have to gain besides another paycheck? So maybe I would stay. I don't know. Zagatag says front office tanks. Coaches will just ask Dougie Deep how tanking worked out for him. Good point. Pedro says this class is going to be hard to get a read on. I am not a fan of Jaden Daniels, but I do agree that James and Coach Dave about needing a modern quarterback. I don't care if he's black, purple. I've said it before. I don't care if my quarterback's black, purple. I don't even if he's Martian. I don't care if he's from Venus. I don't care if he's them there. Whatever. I don't care if he wears lead press on nails. I don't care. I've said this a million times, and people used to tell me for the last 4 years, 5 years, Daniel Jones is such a nice kid. I don't care. I'd rather have an asshole who could read defenses. Sorry, that's literally what I would rather have. And I know a lot of people are on the Jaden Daniels kick, and rightfully so. I love it. LSU updated his profile. And now he's 210 pounds. He just keeps growing. Antonio says a lot of excuses for when the Eagles lose. There are no excuses. Literally every game, the Eagles' offensive line false starts. They just don't call it. So on the Eagles' offensive line, real good. Let's go, G-Man. I've heard that scenario about the Eagles. I don't buy it. There's plenty of times that I've seen what Andrew Thomas looked like. He got an early jump, and they don't call it on that as well. Petro says, make sure you smash the like. We got Daniel Sports highlights going, and there's a yo. What do we also hear? Fabian, they're spanking Green Bay regardless. I don't think so. I got my hopes. It's Monday. You know what it is? It's a Monday night game. It's a primetime game. We know what happens on these games. But the problem is the equation has been altered. There is no Daniel Jones. So maybe we break the curse. Sir Foul Play says, Brooklyn says it's the Tank Bowl. Current Academic says, I would want my team to win as many games as possible. Who knows how a draft pick will turn out, but I want to cheer today. By the way, I'm not a Giants fan. I just really like your channel. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We try to have, hopefully you enjoy it because we try to have a lot of fun here. But I agree. I don't think players go into the mindset of tanking. I don't think they do. I think that's more of something for the media and the beat writers and everything else. I mean, when you're in the game, when you're in the moment, when you're in the situation, you're not thinking, well, you know what, I better drop this pass. Except if you're Bill Belichick and for some unknown godly reason, when you have a rookie kicker and you run to the right hash and then kick the field goal. Most people park their ass in the middle of the field between the two hashes. No, he goes all the way to the right. Yeah. I'm not saying he tried to throw that game, Bill. T-Brad says, let's the fun begin because the T-Brad's in his house. Todd says McCaffrey skipped his final bowl game. How's his career went. Like I said, it doesn't bother me. You're going to the draft. It's if it's a championship game, I got a problem. If it's like in the olden days before the playoffs that you have an opportunity to capture a championship, let's say, it's neither here nor there. And the Admiral says, are you a Julius Randle defender, Tim? Since the Lakers days, fans have been desperately an erratic, unpolished game. Emotion gets the worst of him if he has a bad game and he takes it out down. You know, I'm gonna tell you something right now, Mr. Admiral. I'm gonna tell you something right now, Admiral. Go right now and Google Julius Randle's stats for like the last 15 games. You're going to be surprised by something. And then come back and talk to me. Come back and tell me something. Come back and tell me what you see. Zach Attack says, every time the Eagles lose, it's to the Giants. Yeah, that's right. We're losing out, says Swing. We're not losing out, but how you doing, my friend? How's everything going? Haven't seen you in a while. Mr. Fabio with the big old super chat saying, Penix, what do we got here? We got Penix. We got Knicks, Penix, Daniels are my finalists for the Heisman. I don't think Daniels is one. I don't think. No, honestly, you think the fact I would probably, if you look at the stats and you look at what he's done, I have to go Jaden Daniels for the Heisman. Zach Attack says, Florida State got robbed. They got robbed. We talked about this on Sunday. And I had some concerns about Florida State. And thank you for the super chat. I'm going to leave that up for a second. I had some concerns about Florida State not getting in yesterday because of the fact that they only played top 15 teams. And at the end of the day, their big win was the first game of the season. And they even say, with their quarterback out, it's a different team. So what you basically just told me was you are looking more at a single player than the fact of what the totality of their team did. And even the quarterback came out and even said, listen, I wish I would have broke my leg, sooner. So you would see how good this team is. Cause that was just a bad excuse. No, Zach, I'm gonna help you out here. It should have been FSU got chopped. Not robbed, chopped. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Cards lost. I thought the Cards won. Let's see here. If the Giants go resign for first round, what second round or later quarterback would you want them to take? I mean, like I said before, there are quarterbacks right now in this draft that you kind of think and kind of scratch your head about that are coming out. I mean, you look at Hartman over in Notre Dame. He probably should never have gone into the transfer portal and went over to Notre Dame. I have a feeling you're going to go Caleb. You're probably going to go Caleb, May, Daniels, and Penix in the first round. I would think that would be the way to go. I still think someone like JJ McCarthy is probably going to go in the latter half of the first round. And then if you take a look at it, I'm not a big Bo Nix fan, but I think Bo Nix could go in the second half of the first round. And I don't know what's going on with Carson Beck right now out of Georgia. Riley Leonard, of course, went back into the transfer portal. He's looking like he's going to pull a Hartman and go to Notre Dame. What's his name? The kid from Texas is coming back, which is really going to screw up the whole Archie Manning thing. So I got to wait and kind of see. We got to kind of wait and see. I mean, that's going to be my perspective right now. Breaking news. What's the breaking news, Fabian? T-Brad says, I think we should petition to play Washington 3 times. I think we should play Washington 5 times a year. That's what 5 times a year. That's what I think we should play Washington. They want high rating. If you want to talk about college football, that's what they want. I'm doing well, my friend, as well. I'm doing good, man. I miss you. You got to make sure you got to try to come down for the draft party again. Zacatech says OSU played James, so the college football, which makes them stupid back in 2014. Michigan is shaking in their boots. Matt Loffer is 16-0 in December. It's history. It's the Giants of undefeated killers. Just ask the New England Patriots. I agree. That's actually a good point. T-Brad says if we're taking a quarterback late, we should be trading. Like I said, if it's me, I'm calling Ryan Poles.
Hey, Ryan, I'm going to give you a 3 and a 6 for Justin Fields and let you take Caleb Williams #1 overall.
That's what I'm doing. Why not? The only way, that didn't work. Mike Lee says the only way FSU is getting in is if Texas or Washington lost. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a tough battle for Florida State. It's a bad break. Dyko's meant the Panthers lost. A close one too. Okay. I was wondering, I was like, the Cards lost? I was like, wait, I thought the Cards won. The quarterback from Tulane in the 3rd round. We've actually talked about the quarterback from Tulane a couple times before. Greatest college quarterback of all time. Greatest college quarterback. You probably, if you're looking at a single season, you're probably going to go to the likes of Tim Tebow. If you're looking at someone that really, really performed at a high level, with a great cast around him, you got some people like Art Schlichter. So that's a tough one to call. Let's see. Michael Pratt, Tulane quarterback, is my choice in the 2nd or 3rd round. I agree. I don't think that's a bad choice. We've talked about Pratt 2 Sundays ago. So that would be kind of curious. We got the 2 giant goofballs in his house going, let's play the Washington 17 times. We can give them a break during the bye week. For those that have missed it, there was breaking news. The New York Giants, as some people do not know, are undefeated in the bye week. Think about that for a minute. We have never lost a bye week game. Zach Attack says the Bears have clinched the #1 seed via Carolina. I did not know that. I did not know that. Let's see here. T-Brad says, hey, Peyton Manning might be my vote for the best quarterback of all time. I think if you look at what quarterback meant most to his team, and if I don't remember, how many national championships did Peyton Manning win? Don't remember, T-Brad. Statistics aren't always the benchmark. Heisman's. How many Heisman's did Peyton Manning win? But, of course, if you go to the fact that Archie Griffin should probably be the greatest running back in college history because he won 2 Heisman's. He's the only gentleman to win back-to-back Heisman's. Only running back too. Giant Goofball also says they haven't had 5 or more games to go so they could get to 6. I know. Isaiah Rod says Peyton is the best, but not the greatest. I have to agree. Let's see here. JJ McCarthy seems to be a West Coast style scheme for a team like San Francisco 49ers or Seattle. We talked about this before. I get leery of people like JJ McCarthy only because of the fact, and same thing with Drake May. The scouts are basing all their information off of projected talent in reference to what their attributes are. And that is the way you should do it. You should not look conversely just at college stats. Because like I've said before, as soon as you leave college, your stats are 0, 0, 0, 0 again until you play your first NFL game. But here's my problem. When you can't even put up stats in college, That's an issue. And I know the Michigan offense is not conducive to the quarterback the way they're set up. But I am leery from a guy who doesn't put up basically any numbers. Drake May is the same way in North Carolina. The North Carolina offense is not built like going back to the Tennessee offense for Peyton Manning. I agree 100%. But again, if you're not putting up any numbers in college and you're being projected from your talent in reference to your attributes alone and how they transition into the NFL, that is a good thing. But I am leery. I'm always two things that I'm leery about in college. If, number one, that you take a quarterback who has only started one season and that's it. I always shy away from those guys. And number two is when you have projected talent that is going to be the next level because you have the attributes, but you put up zero skills or zero numbers in college. Mr. Ramos says, Joe Burrow's LSU's felt magical. Not going to lie. Joe Burrow did have a very good season. You're right. Let's see. Oh, you have to consider Tommy Frazier, Nebraska quarterback. He got kind of jobbed by the NFL, same with Charlie. We could also go with Charlie Ward with that one, his last season at Florida State. Tommy, actually, they have a good documentary coming up about the Nebraska teams. So I'm kind of curious to see that because Tommy, of course, had the blood clot issue in his leg. And the fact that he wasn't going to get into the NFL, but it's, like I said, at that point in time the NFL was just not conducive for the African-American quarterback. Chris says, Tim, we lost a bye week last year when Xavier Kinney broke his hand. Chris proved me wrong. Chris proved me wrong. Antonio says, Tim, what do you think about this one? I know this is possible, but teams that are struggling early, say 2-8, 2-10, should they have a bye week? Just let their season be over and get ready for next year. Well, the problem is it depends on who's on their schedule. So if that 2-10 team, has to play a 9-3 team, yeah, I mean he's gonna have to play the games. Let's say the Washington team is 2-10, and everyone else in the division is what you call it. So yeah, no, because then it's not fair. No, I actually understand. It's actually a pretty valid point though. Todd says, I'm leery of all quarterbacks from big schools stacked with future pros. A lot of guys have looked better than they are whenever they're in the pros. That's the other big thing you always have to consider. You got a lot of guys that have pro talent around them. A lot of first rounders, a lot of second rounders, hell, even a lot of third and fourth rounders. And a lot of times when you're picked that high, you're not going to the best situation. You're not going to the best team at all. The Goofball says, Drake May scares me with that schedule or Campbell Campus really is even a college team. Campbell's are real college teams. Yes, they are. They play Sister Mary of the Poor. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they are basing his ability off his attributes. We've talked about this before. He's got the big arm. He can make. Hold on. Let me pull up. I had a scouting report. Hold on. Let me pull up some of the scouting reports that I've seen off of Drake May. Hold on. Don't hit the like button. I gotta say that. I don't know why I gotta say it. Just do it. Hey, I love it. Possesses ideal NFL arm talent. Has pro level velocity and placement. I love it because he makes can make all the Sunday throws. Here's my question: what if we play a game on Thursday? Sorry. Zach says, what do you think of the report that Dale was wanting to fire Wink, Kafka, and everyone? Yeah, you know what, McGinty. I think he's going to fire everybody. I think he doesn't like Wink. I think Kafka was a mistake. They should have ran the Kafka. If you're going to go with an offensive coordinator who was so green, you do the Eric Bieniemy route, what Andy Reid did. The first 3 years in KC, Bieniemy, all he did was he installed the offensive game plan with the team during the week. And then Reid called the plays on Sunday. And it was that last couple seasons that he finally took over as a true offensive coordinator role. But he got his tutelage out of one of the best players. Best offensive-minded head coaches. You should have did that, Dable. You should have did that because the offenses look terrible, and almost in 2 years, it makes people miss Jason Garrett. Tim, do you think that college football should be overseen by the federal entity? No. The federal government should never be overseeing anything. Wilt or Kareem? You go championships with Kareem, but I think overall talent was Wilt. Said it before. I'm a Wilt Chamberlain number 13 fan. I have a piece of the floor from Hershey when he scored the 100 points sitting up on my wall over there. Petro says, do you think a draft the safety and draft because we got rid of McKinney because he wants a big contract? I think the idea with the McKinney deal is the fact that they're looking at Isaiah Simmons to move forward and take over for McKinney. And I think I always thought that when they brought in Isaiah, it was under that pretense that if McKinney either flames out or if he excels so much and Shane doesn't want to give him give him that contract, which he's already proven he really doesn't. You have Isaiah, you could bring back Isaiah Simmons. Big Ben, small schools, Miami of Ohio, no other Florida, but one school in Ohio. Steve McMarrow, Acorn State, best quarterback of football college. Mic drop. Steve. He played at Acorn State. That's playing right. He played Jolly Roger High. Oh my God. Two Good Paul says, I can place the throws when facing the Camels. You could also do the throws when you're going up against the all shorts team. Look how great Daniel Jones looked at training camp. No rush, no pads, no contact. Anyone can look good. Mike Lee says they cut and passed DJ Scouting Report. They cut and pasted. They did. They're like DJ Scouting Report. They actually did. I think that was the same scouting report for Drake May. And let's see. Todd says NCAAs could solve all their issues by having 6 teams in the playoff. This I actually like. This idea I like. If I'm the NCAA, I don't have this selection Sunday crap. I don't do this. This is not the basketball. This is not the NCAA basketball tournament. I like this idea. But I'm going top 5. That's what I'm going. You give the number 1 overall a bye week, and then you go top 5. I like that idea. Zach says, hit the like button for no. No, we're not doing a Friday stream. Make sure you hit the like. I can't do a Friday stream because James is going to be here. We're gonna do I think James and I are doing either Saturday or Sunday stream. We haven't decided yet. We got to work this out. We're working out the details. James is showing up Friday night, so we're gonna figure out. And I think we're going out. We're taking the girls and we're going out Friday. So there's no stream. Let's see here. Zach says this is a joke about the streams, not the link. I know, I'm just joking. Let's see here. T-Brad says I never missed Jason Garrett. Not everyone misses Jason Garrett. I miss Jason Garrett. I keep telling people the Seattle game plan was flawless. The call in that Philadelphia game that was dropped by Evan Ingram, perfect call, perfect play, perfect call. He had moments, Garrett. Kafka just has Kafka. Maybe with the new DC, we can get Kayvon out of coverage. He doesn't drop into coverage that much. And honestly, listen, we talked about this before. I don't think Kayvon's a bust. I never subscribed to that theory. I'm not gonna go down that road, but he does take some plays.
Yeah, we don't think he's a bust.
He takes plays off. And someone said it even best in the chat. He sometimes takes games off. He's got 7 sacks in 3 games. It's a very Marcus Golden-esque season. And 2 of those multiple sacks games he had in Seattle, where he had 1 sack very early in the game and then a sack very late. Sacks matter. Of course they do, but they also matter when they are. Let's see here. Todd said thoughts on Wilson's potentially saying he doesn't want to play again this year. Oh, Zach Wilson? He just shut up. We got the breaking news. We got HMS. Nix, Penix, and Daniels are the Heisman finalists. Fabian's just breaking these news over and over again. Like I said, if that's the breaking news, I'm going Daniels. I'm going because I think he's had the best season. Like Mike Lee says, you have the NCAA basketball problem with the bubble teams never going to satisfy everyone. So you know what they need to do in college, you got the NIT in basketball. And I believe the NIT is older than the NCAA tournament. Why don't we have an NIT of college football? We could call it the FIT, which would also be the Fashion Institute of Technology. So we could call it the CBFIT. CFFIT. There we go. We just figured it out. Hung Dave says, do you think we're going to draft another running back? It depends. If Barkley's gone, you're going to have to. Here's my problem with everyone. And here's my other thing I take issue with. Everyone's like, you have to move Evan Neal. Let's move him to guard. He'll be better as a guard. Who the hell's going to play tackle? Joshua Azusa? He's Joe Azuzzi's brother? Or come on, guys. We're going to keep Justin Pugh. Justin Pugh has been putrid. But everyone loves him because he goes,
Justin Pugh, off the couch.
That was his big claim to fame. Mr. Albert says, I thought the other day, what do you think of Cliff Kingsbury's offense coordinator if we get rid of Kafka? Correct me if I'm wrong, Cardinals offense was pretty good. The DeAndre Hopkins, when he got hurt, that really kind of stifled Kyler Murray. So, you know, that's actually not a bad. I think Cliff Kingsbury, he probably won a head coaching job. He should go back to college, but I would take Cliff Kingsbury as the offense coordinator. I think anyone that drafts a Smurf as a quarterback and builds his entire offense around him and is successful, he's got to be pretty good in my eyes. I love Kyler Murray's helmet. Kyler Murray's helmet's like this. That's why I love Kyler Murray. Big Greg, time to go to bed here. But Giants lose. Big Greg, hi Greg, what do you got? Is it late in Sweden? Is it late? Is that it? You don't want to stay up? I'm not a clown. I don't amuse you. What's so fucking funny about me? Oh, I'm sorry, wrong movie. A Diet Ghost says, I kind of miss Jason Garrett. Maybe that's the abuse getting to me. It's the abuse getting to you. Zach Attack says, Kayvon is a good player, but is very inconsistent. Kayvon is a very good player, or can be a very good player. When Kayvon's motor is on, he can be a disruptive force. There was rumors and speculations coming out of Oregon that he did not have the greatest work ethic. And there have been games this season, especially early on. Everyone forgets early on in the season, Kayvon ran his mouth about the fan base a little bit. Everyone remembers about Evan Neal, but not every people remember early part of the first 4 weeks in the season when people were getting on Kayvon's ass. He was running his mouth. The problem is this: if you're going to run your mouth, you got to back it up. And the problem with Kayvon is he takes plays off, and sometimes he seems to take series offs, and sometimes he seems to take whole games off, and that's got to change. Two Goofball says Kayvon still needs to learn how to set the edge. He doesn't know how to set the edge against a run. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. Todd says Kayvon needs to show up against good teams. Like he plays good against Washington, New England, and no shows against Philadelphia and Dallas. It was no show against Miami. Was he even on the field in Buffalo? I mean, I don't know. These are facts. They're good facts. Kayvon is the Daniel Jones of edge players. Plays good against bad teams and mid against good teams. You're right. FSU got the shaft.
That's what she said.
They did. They really did. They really did. FSU really did get screwed. Mr. Alva says he can always improve. I'm rooting for him too. I hope that Kayvon comes out and gets 20 sacks. I've said it before. I hope he smashes Michael Strahan's record, and I hope he does it right. You know, doesn't do the whole Brett Favre. Oh, I'm dead. I really do. But like I said, he needs to. You know, you know what he needs. You know what he needs.
Are you a big man? Huh? I'm talking to you. What? You wake up in the morning, you say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on.
He's got to get the big boy pants on. OG says, I hate to be negative, but we're going to suck next year as well. You can't get rid of everyone on this team. We only have 38 players under contract next year. I think right now we only have like 45 plus million in cap space. You have five. We did this yesterday. You got 5 players. You are top cap heavy again. You have 5 players, which account for like 50% of your cap space. That's not a way to run your cap. I get a little worry about the Capology of the Giants. And I know people are going to be like, you know what you're talking about, but I guess I haven't been right about the cap for the last 3 years. Kayvon doesn't have any sacks against good teams. No, he doesn't. Florida Institute of Technology. They're very good, actually, Mac. Very good. Very good, Mike Lee. Mike Lee loves it. It's
Matt from Connecticut.
That's right. Peter says, I personally like Zudo better than Neil. Shocking take. I know. I'm not seeing. I watched Zudo play, and I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I'm not saying he's bad because he's still way young, but I have been waiting for 4 years for Matt from Connecticut. When I sat there, don't forget the like button. When I sat there and told people the day they drafted him, he was going to be a 4 to 5 year project before he even got out on the field, I was told I was being negative. When I said that he doesn't have the body type that seems that can put on mass, and if he does, it's probably going to hurt his back. What happened in year 3? But again, I was being negative. Some players you just look at and you're like, it just doesn't make sense. And we've waited for Matt for 4 years. The worst part is we've already gone to the prom. Matt hasn't shown up. Antoine says, another bring on the yell. Let's see here. Just see here. The Admiral says Waller, Giants, great trade grade. Can we get the pick? The Waller trade. I was not a big fan. I know, shocking. I said it before. It had nothing to do with the wedding. The Raiders knew they were not going to be great. They've overpaid for a tight end who had 2 injury-plagued seasons in a row, was 3 years removed from having his big season. He had a $10 million hit. They tried to get what they could from the Giants, and they did the best they could to get the Giants. And I said this before, Waller will be a stud unless his hamstrings fail him. And as you get older, you will learn this when you get older. As you get older and you have hamstring issues, they are always reoccurring. He will probably never have another season again, Waller, when he does not have some type of hamstring issue. Let's see here. The Giants didn't lose this Sunday. Massive. See? I said it. Giants didn't lose Sunday. Bring in LT as a linebacker coach. Bring in Victor Cruz, another Giant great wide receiver coach. Yeah. What do you want?
It's Daniel. Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
Yeah, that's all LT can do. Move Guilty says, move Neil to running back. We could refrigerate a Perry this. I love it. Once Glowinski was benched, Neil played about. Zach Attack is right. We talked about this. We even talked about this going back to Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas had all the issues in the world when he was playing alongside Will Hernandez. We talked about this ad nauseum, and nobody wanted to listen. The minute that he went down, Will Hernandez, with COVID, and they brought in Shane Lemieux, who did not play well at all, for some ungodly reason, Andrew Thomas figured it out. And there was times that we went through multiple plays where Will Hernandez missed his assignment, and Thomas had to figure out who to block. It's not a good way to play. Well, Emmanuel, what's going on, Emmanuel? I haven't seen you. I love doing streams sometimes during the week because, especially at night, because I get to see people I haven't seen in a while. What's up, Emmanuel? Hirsch for real says, what's good, Tim? Everything's good, my brother. Everything's good. C. Sanders says, honestly, you will not be a good team until about 2. I've said, okay, this is what I broke down for. I laughed because it was on Twitter. And it was actually Bad Dog that posted it. And he was like, just because signing Daniel Jones doesn't mean we're going to be set back 5 years. And I was like, well, and I did the math for him. I actually turned to be 4 years. I said, if Daniel Jones flames out in 2023, that's year 1. You then draft a quarterback and you're still stuck with the Daniel Jones contract. That's year 2. So more than likely your new quarterback is not going to fully play or you potentially may not even draft one to year 3. And then once you have that new quarterback, you hope he maturates, and you hope he maturates in year 4. And then I just got out of the 90+ million that I so foolishly gave to a mediocre quarterback. Let's see here. The Knicks could trade quickly. Grimes, another one. I don't want Levine. I don't want Zach. Levine's a great player. But he's already said he doesn't want to come to New York. Captain Alvin says, I know what Kayvon needs to do. Drink Black Rifle coffee before the game. He'll have 3.5 flat sacks. Listen, if he drinks the new Christmas blend, he might have 4 sacks a game. There might be some Black Rifle news coming down the pike. I'm not going to say anything yet. Hurst Real says they should move Neal to guard. We talked about that. No, we're not doing that. Waller trade is a wash. I don't disagree with that, Zach. I agree with 100%. Can you make a bye? I love this one. Can you take a bye week year? I think I can do this. I don't think I can do this for another year. I love that. Great. Can you take a bye week year? RFD says trade for Malik. I would trade.
That's great.
Gotta get to work. That's right.
Yes.
Come on. My name is Willie. Baby, I keep the ladies screaming, and all my fans got screaming. You can defeat me, you're dreaming.
I didn't take that part in. I would trade for Malik in a heartbeat. I love that the Giants fans hated Malik so much when there was talk about him being released. They're like, well, we should sign him. Don't smoke crack. You got to love it. Do you think the Giants will try to make a move for Collins in the offseason? They should get a solid right tackle. Collins has not been a solid right tackle in 2 years. He has not been a solid right tackle for 2 years now. And everyone talked about when he got released. We should sign him. And I kept telling people, no, he's not ready yet. This is the Odell Beckham shit all over again, but this time with an offensive lineman. No, I don't want him. The LT clips kills me every time. I know, I love that clip too. Mr. Alvarez says, let's not forget the great second-round offensive lineman, Will Hernandez. God should stop drafting offensive linemen with the first 2 second-round picks over the next few years. Who should we replace? What's up, J Sports Guard? Who should Tim? Who are the options to replace Saquon if he leaves? I think they're going to have to go running back in the draft. Then, if Saquon is out, dear Lord, Matt Breida is not going to be back. I do not want Eric Gray. For the love of God, can we just not have Eric Gray? I don't. Is Jonathan Brooks coming out at Texas? I like him. I like the kid over at. I like the kid in Michigan. I like Benson over at Florida State. Which is Marshall Lloyd. Marshawn. Yeah, Marshawn Lloyd was USC. I mean, there's some guys. There's some athletic guys. I like the kid from Michigan a lot. I'm just trying to think. I mean, you're going to have to just find some, go running back by committee. You're just going to have to do something such as that. Let's see. Zach said, since the Seattle traded for Leonard Williams, they are on a 3-game losing streak. Can we do it? Can we do it just once, guys? Can we do it once?
King of the almost sack.
I had to. I just had to do it. I have been dying to push the button. Leonard Williams right now and it has 2 sacks and 14 tackles for the vaunted Seattle Seahawks. And to Zach Attack's point, you're right. Fabian says, how time flies. Number 1, great no BS streams. Thank you to Fabian. Thank you for always supporting. Always don't trade quick. No, we're not trading quickly. We're not trading quickly, but thank you. Zach Attack's also got his membership badge here. I feel the Giants are the anti-Eagles cap. I don't understand how the Eagles. And thank you again, Fabian. That was actually very nice. Thank you. Sometimes I gloss over when people say nice things about me. But I do appreciate that. How does Howie Roseman figure this out? They just signed the linebacker. They need to, especially with what's the name who just went down. Greg says Daniel Jones and agents pulled a Lufthansa heist. Are you serious about that? Was Henry Hill involved? Because Jimmy's going to take all of them out. Pip named Slickback says, what's up, my brother? I love the Giant fans on Twitter saying teams don't tank. Lol, make a deal with players. If you don't tank in September and October, we won't beg you to tank in November and December. If you're gonna tank, like I said, you have to do it like Belichick. Belichick was a genius with Tom Brady. He left. He's the anti-genius now. But one of the most genius things that he did is he lost the game by not losing the game. But he lost the game. I'm still telling you guys, I cannot figure it out for the life of me. A rookie kicker, I think he's only hitting like 70% of his kicks. You're inside extra point range. No time left on the clock. Most people take the ball. Quarterback drops down middle between the two hash marks. Belichick runs a play all the way to the right hash. And shockingly, the rookie kicker missed. Pedro says, I hope the Cardinals keep winning. I want Marvin Harrison. We need a number one wide receiver so badly. I would trade up for him. When was the last time we had a weapon? Odell Beckham. Evan Ingram. Oh no, he's only a weapon in Jacksonville. T. Brad Jaden is our new Willie Beeman. He is. He is the 21st century quarterback. He's not going to the Miami Sharks. Coach D'Amato's not going to screw him up. He's going to come to the Giants. And you know what the thing is? We've had weapons though. We had Daniel Jones. I always think about this though with the Giants, because if you actually have a running quarterback who understands the philosophy of being a running quarterback and not a running quarterback who only runs by design, Jaden Daniels is perfect. He's 21st century quarterback. He can make your offensive line better by having the ability to move the pocket. We've talked about it before with Daniel Jones, and the Giants never did. I never really understood why. Why didn't they just implement if you are having such a difficult time defending Daniel Jones and keeping him upright because he holds on to the ball too long, why don't you just use a floating pocket and just move it from side to side? Roll him out, floating pocket, and give him the extra time he needs. Imagine if we have Marvin and we traded for Fields, I would cry. Oh, I would think that would be great. I would love that. That would be awesome. Zach Attack says, do you think Jacksonville can be the number one seed in the AFC? Of course they are. I got the Josh Allen jersey. I'm on the Jacksonville train right now. Let's see. Her says, we need Jaden on the Giants. I got to tell people, you know what? I'm starting to see what people are seeing, but you got to go back to Arizona. You got to watch him early in his career and then see where he is in LSU now. And then you need to talk about that. Because like I said, it's like the last 6 or 7 games, the game has slowed down for him. And he's showing what he could be. And you can literally see that. I have a thought. Trade for Malik and Justin Fields and let them compete for a starter. I'm good with that. You probably get Malik for a 7. I'm good with that. I love it, though, because Will Levis could have 4 fumbles and an interception in a game, and he's not what you call prone. He's not turnover prone. And he lost all of the fumbles too. Greg says, look at a team built around the league. The Packers now have a quarterback of the future, weapons around him, the good offensive line. This is why they're on year 7 of this, and we're on year 7 of this. I don't like to brag, and many people do know this in the stream. I am an NFL owner. I own part of the Green Bay Packers. I have my Green Bay Packers stock certificate. I've been invited to the owner meetings. So technically I can't really discuss my feelings and thoughts on the Green Bay Packers. RV says, I was cracking up because a woman at work who is a diehard 49ers fan says she goes, man, DeVito is terrible. He has a terrible throwing quarterback. I'm so worried about Tommy DeVito. I'm so worried about Tommy DeVito. Pedro says, we're going to re-sign Saquon for a 3-year contract when we draft a new quarterback. You know what? That's the other thing. If you are going to go rookie quarterback or even have Daniel Jones back, you got to bring back your only offensive weapon. That's Saquon Barkley. You have to. And you have the cap space. Zach Attack says Frank Gore Jr. is coming out. I did not know that. That would be an and he'll probably play for 19 years like his father. Lil Wayne, tall man doing these What's Wayne telling me? I don't know. It's a good question. Let's see. I like Benson Ant, and there's a big bruiser from Arkansas. Oh yeah, the one running back that everyone was talking about on Twitter. I remember that now. OG says, Tim, what if Brian Dable decides to go back to Buffalo or the Chargers? Who should coach the Giants then? It's funny because Buffalo came out, and this is the kiss of death. Buffalo came out before Sunday's game, or before Sunday, and said Sean McDermott's job is safe. AKA NFL speak, we're going to fire Sean McDermott. I remember when they came out and said, Joe Judge's job is safe. And we're still waiting. I don't know what happens. Yes, Leonard from Indy. Thank you. Yeah, Shaq Leonard. I couldn't remember. I was having one of those brain situations there. Let's see here. I felt like not signing Fab Monroe was a bad idea, and he once again is having a solid season. You know, it's funny. Corin Ballington has played well. It was also played well at times at the Saints. Isaac Yiadom. We still have the $1.98 for the Isaac Yiadom phone. Matt says Kayvon is the reverse of the almost sack. Leonard will get a good amount of pressure and no sack. Seems like he converts almost all of his pressures. That's good. I mean, yeah. But the problem is, I think Leonard gets a lot more pressures than Kayvon. And like I said, Leonard, for all the joking, and like I said, the Leonard Williams, a little bit of OBB history here. The Leonard Williams King of the Almost Sack, that was done not at the expense of Leonard Williams. That was done for the fans who, when he had his half a sack for the Giants, said, well, he had like 38 pressures. And I kept asking him, okay, what did the pressures equate to? Zach and I talk about this. What did the pressures equate to? Was it an incompletion? Was it completion? What was it? You know, they register pressures, but at the end of the day, they look for sacks. So I used to say, well, he's the king of the almost sacks then. And that's actually how that came about. And then it just got funny. Joey G says we can beat the Eagles, right? What are we going to beat them in? Ping pong? We're going to beat them in shuffleboard? What's that game? Pickleball. Everybody, please. Pickleball. We're going to beat them in pickleball? The only way we beat them, we couldn't beat them when they didn't play any of their starters. What good are weapons if the quarterback doesn't use them? You're right. If you don't throw them the ball, what good are the weapons? Fabian says, Tim, what do you think is going to happen to the big Dom of the Hubba Hubba? Well, okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Now it makes sense. Let's see here. A weapon only matters if the person is using it knows what they are doing. 100%. Tim, what do you think is going to happen to the big Dom from the Eagles? Oh, the big security guard. He's probably going to get banned. I would think he would get banned from the team and from the league. It's interesting because I'm on the field a lot for the Giant games, so I know I know probably most of the security guards, and they're all ex-cops. And they're not the size of Big Dom. They're not his size. They're just regular. I mean, plus there's cops on the sidelines. But you still have this respect for them, and you know they can handle business. I just think he's kind of an idiot. Joey G says Tate wasn't washed. Galladay wasn't washed. Evan Ingram is still a top 5 wide receiver. Daniela Jones never had weapons. Yep, you're not wrong. Zach Attack says Jason Garrett loved the floating pocket versus Vegas. He did. You're right. You are right. Penix is a bad man. I like Penix. I like Penix a lot. The 2 ACLs got to scare the bejesus out of you. We talked about this before. I'm always trying to think of a nice way to talk about his throwing motion. Wonky is good. He's got this wonky motion, this wonky wind up. And I worry that that's going to screw up his footwork. And I get concerned. Like I said, I'm always concerned when teams are like, well, you know what we'll do? We'll just change the way he throws. We'll just change his throwing style. What could go wrong? Usually everything. So you're going to have to deal with what he is. Is he going to be Mahomian? I don't know. But there's a lot of things to love about Penix. There's a lot of things that scared the bejesus about Penix. Damn, I wish we would have gotten Robinson. Oh my God. Captain Albert says if Caleb pulls an Eli and comes to the Giants, one can only dream. Yeah, I mean, I would love Caleb Williams to come to the Giants. And even if he flames out, you know what the problem is? Even if he flames out, I think it's fine. It's better than what we have. Jets will be competing with us for a quarterback. They will. Mike Vrabel truly does hate Malik Willis. And the fact that the guy that drafted him and the offensive coordinator that wanted him are both gone this year kind of proves. And like I said, we talked about the fact that Malik Willis' second preseason game in Tennessee, Vrabel told him, you are not allowed to leave the pocket. He told him. He came out in his press conference and said it. So did Malik. He says, he told me I couldn't leave the pocket. So you take the thing that he does well and tell him he can't do it. You can't do it. Caleb screams bust. There are things about Caleb Williams that if you look at it, yes, you are not wrong. But I think there's more of an upside and more of a chance for him not to be a bust. I think the odds of him being a bust are less. But he does have some tendencies. He does have some issues. He's got some maturity issues as well. He's got all world talent. He's proven that in college for the last 3 years. He's not a guy. He's not a guy that you're looking at his physical attributes because he didn't put up any stats in college. He's not one of those guys. But there are ancillary things about him outside of his ability that are not in your control that, yes, I do think you could say there could be a potential for a bust. Tyrod says maybe for off his prime, but I always respect a journeyman into the NFL and the miracle playoff berth with the, yeah, you got, like I said, Tyrod is past his prime, but like I said, we had the, after the Tyrod win, we came up with, wait, do we have it? Do we still have it?
Who's he? The OG QB.
He'll always be the OG QB. Kayvon gets doubled teamed a lot. Not really. Actually, Greg, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. I've watched Kayvon get manhandled by a tight end. No, not really. He gets a lot of single blocking. He really does. And that should tell you something about it. RF says Leonard's pressures actually cause incompletions or interceptions. That's the thing. No one ever tells me this. No one comes across and ever tells me this. Karen says, I can't wait to see the Green Bay Packers game and Tommy show the doubters that he can do it. Go Tommy, go Giants. I hope he does. I hope he rocks it out. I hope he, like I said, I hope Jersey Shore Tommy, has another round at karma. That's what I really do. But the problem is this, I got a bad, the weird thing, this is a bad thing. And people that have followed the show the last 3 years will attest to this. I don't say I get a bad feeling a lot. I really don't. But the times that I've said I've got a bad feeling about things have gone horribly wrong. The one that I remember the most always is Joe Judge's press conference. I did a video right after it and I had a bullshit meter on it. And I told people over and over again, I got a bad feeling about this guy. I was like, I got a bad feeling that this is just going to be bad. I said, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it's going to be soon. So I got a bad feeling about Tommy DeVito. RF says we can beat the Eagles when they're asleep. They might be. The Eagles are going to spread us on toast. We are going to be toast. I honestly think Jalen Hurts has a concussion. I don't know. There's something wrong with Jalen. I still think there's something wrong a little bit with Josh Allen. I think there's something wrong with Jalen as well. Penix reminds me of Tua. I've said it before. I think Penix reminds me more of Randall Cunningham. If I'm going to go that way. What do you think of Drake May? Not a Drake May fan. Like I said, you talk to the scouts. We talked about this before, J Sports Cards. They always say he can make all the Sunday throws. He's got the big arm. He's got all the intangible. He just can't put up any stats in North Carolina. So you are just looking at him in regards to does a bear to shit in the woods? Yeah, a bear does shit in the woods. What's the joke about the bear shitting his? What's the joke about the bear shitting in the woods and he wipes his ass with a rabbit? I can never remember that joke. I love that joke. Is Daniel Jones a bust? Yes. OG says, watch the Giants draft another boring quarterback. I miss OBD. At least he cared about losing, and the Giants got rid of him for wanting to win. You're right. I think you mean Odell Beckham. You know what? It's just one of those things. You're right. If you are, we've talked about this. There are certain players that if you have a enthusiasm and a hatred for losing, and you're Tom Brady, then you're just a great competitor. And there's certain other players that when they have the same enthusiasm and hatred for losing, they're whiners. And the Giants are this franchise. Are the Giants the same storied franchise that they were back back in the 50s and the 60s and then in the 80s and the 2000s? They're not the Steelers. They're as old as the Steelers, but the storiedness of the franchise, the gleam is kind of wearing off. There's a gleam, men. There's a gleam. We got to find the gleam. Maybe we need to bring in Schottenheimer. Let's see. Disappearation. Who was once DJ went down and Tyrod came in, the fans in the stadium felt hope. I agree. I agree 100%. The moment that Daniel Jones wasn't coming back, I started watching the Giants fully, because normally what I'll do is, especially with the YouTube, you can have 5 games on your screen at once. And a lot of times I'll always have the Giant game on, but then I'll be like, watching 4 other games. When Daniel Jones went down, I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this game now. Hurts is magical, gets sidelines versus G-Man, and the Giants have a chance. Listen, yeah, I agree. Hurts is just one of those guys, though. He just, except for the other night, he just does things that you just kind of scratch your head. The Giants, and in a good way, if the Giants going to go quarterback, they're going Bo Nix. Would I be upset about Bo Nix? I might be more upset about Bo Callahan. But would I be upset about Bo Nix? Probably not, because he is a two-way guy. He's not the same quarterback early in his career. I wouldn't be off the charts about it, but I'd be happier than having Daniel Jones. OG says, preach, my brother, preach. Let's say, even if Jones becomes Tannehill, he's not good. Tannehill was lucky that Willis was terrible last year. Tennessee has been out on him since the Bengals game. 100%. 100%. I do follow Tennessee football, but you're 100% right on that. They have been they've been out on him for a while now, Ryan Tannehill, but they're stuck with that contract. So it kind of seems like a scenario that we're in right now. No to Bo Nix. Big dog status says, I agree. Zach Attack says, what do you think about the Eagles' head security getting ejected from the game? We just talked about Big Dom. He's an idiot. He's going to get thrown out of the stadium and the NFL. I don't trust Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a career backup, I feel. It's interesting though. It's great balls of fire. It's interesting with people like Bo Nix and even Penix and all these other guys, because you never know. It's a crapshoot. You don't know. There's been plenty of players that I like that I've been wrong about. There's been plenty of players that I hate that I've been wrong about. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. And the Giants are kind of in that situation that they know what they have in Daniel Jones. It's been 5 years. You know what you have. Say it with me, guys. It's been 5 years. There's something very wrong with that. So we know what we have. And there's gonna be a year 6, which is even worse. So strap in, guys. Miss Roberts says, I bet I'll be beyond ticked if they went to Bo Nix. I don't need another Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is another Drake, May. Let's see here. I really like Jaden Daniels. He's a guy. He just seems to be like Douglas. He really does. He seems like he's, like I said, if you watch him, He's really flipped the switch. He's really figured it out in college. He's going to have that learning curve going into the pros, but he has the attributes, and somehow he's gained like 40 pounds, according to LSU. Oh, I love that. Tommy, I feel like Tommy will start versus Green Bay Packers. Tyrod will come in if Tommy fails and comes back to earth. Well, we don't even know if Tyrod's going to play yet. We got to see how. We got to see how this. It's only Monday. We got to see how this week. We got to see how this week of practice goes. The OC is gone next year. I'm not confident that Wink. I don't think. First of all, I think Wink should get a head coaching shot. I really do. If Kafka is back, it's just going to be the same mess. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, Brian. For those that do not know, we got a big video coming out in the next couple days. So make sure you stay tuned for it. There's the thumbnail that you're going to see. That's going to be the new video coming out. And we're going to talk all about, do the Giant coaches really hate Brian Daboll? We're going to talk all about that in the next 2 days. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I don't know what day it's going to drop. It's a Mint Mobile video, so they got to approve it first. Let's see here. Fabian says, if they go Bo Nix, will they allow him to wear number 10? No. No. Big Dog says, we need a game changer quarterback. We need a star power. This is New York. No more regular guys. Eli Manning was a regular guy. He just had the Manning pedigree. But I do agree. I think it was T-Brad and James. We talked about it yesterday that we need we need a 21st century quarterback. We need a Buck Rogers in the 21st century quarterback. That's what we need. Tim says, Petro says, Tim, I bet you the Giants trade up for Drake May. You want to bet? No, I don't want to bet because that does seem like something Shane would do. Can you imagine Jaden Daniels and Benson in the second round? I can imagine it. I just don't think the Giants are going that way. I really don't. I mean, I have this really interesting feeling that Shane is going to stick with at least year 6 of Daniel Jones. Mike Lee says they may even be a year 7. God forbid. Mike Lee, you should
think you go get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That would have been your first Wonka ever, Mike Lee. But we're not going to do it to you. I could never Wonka you. Diagus, he is who we thought he was. You're exactly right. Fabian 10 is retired. He was being sarcastic. He was being a little sarcastic. Jaden Daniels is okay, but he's a honey. Well, no, LSU changed it. He's now 215. It's literally amazing. This kid has gained 30 pounds since Sunday. I can't believe it. He must have been on some diet roids. He must have been on some diet program. Mara might pressure Shane into getting a running back to replace Saquon. I can already see it unfolding. I hope to God not. We don't need a running back. Well, we might need a running back. We might need a running back. We might need a right tackle because everyone wants to move one of our right tackles to guard. We're probably still going to need a quarterback. We're probably still going to need a wide receiver. We may be short a safety as well. Potentially, we need a tight end. Nobody's talking about the fact that we're going to need a tight end because I don't think. I mean, I like Bellinger, but he's a Ballard. I don't think he's going to be much more than a Jake Ballard. Yeah, so I think that's where we're at. The Giants need to. What do the Giants need to do? The Giants nearly lost 3 games last year on 3 yards or less. You're 100% right. Does John Mara like Dable? That's the question. I think he likes Dable. I think he likes Dable a hell of a lot more than he liked Joe Judge. I would like to see Daniels and Saquon. Oh, I would love to see the RPO on that. I just don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Jaden Daniels will make it out of the first round. No, he's not. He's going to go top 10. 100%. There's going to be 5 quarterbacks taken in that first round. There will be 5 quarterbacks taken. And I think he could potentially be one of those guys. I mean, like I said, I think if it's me, like we said this before, I think, of course, Caleb's going, May is going, I think Nix is going, I think Daniels is going, I think Penix is going. So I think those are the guys going. I think those are going to be your 5 guys. It's not going to be, it's going to be like the 83 draft. There's going to be this run on quarterbacks. T-Brad says we need the owners to stay out of the damn draft round. Well, I guess we really can't throw them out of the building. I guess we can. I don't feel sorry for Daniel Jones. He got the bag. I hate that he got hurt, but I'm sick of him. I guess that's a nice way to put it. I like it. I like this one. It's the Bayou diet. He literally went from 185 to 215. Do you think they're getting ready for the NFL draft? I have a feeling tomorrow he's going to be 230. He's going to be 6'5", 230. Let's see. Dom says, I don't watch much college football, but I have a feeling the draft class is going to be a weird one where one of those lower ranked guys ends up being better than. Oh, I agree. You always have those classes where there's this guy that can't miss prospect, the top of the class. He's going to be the most wonderful player of all, and then you take a Russell Wilson in the third round. Daniel Jones' agent needs to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. T-Rad says, if Daniels is on the board when we pick that first round, it should be the pick. It should be the pick, 100%. 1,000%. It should be the pick. Will it be the pick? No. No. And we talked about it Sunday. I don't think we need to rehash it, but we talked about it Sunday. Zach says, I don't think McKinney's going to be back next year either. I think this should have been a Landon Collins learning moment, and Shane should have just moved on from him. Rumors, let's see here. Heard rumors they're interested in the Tulane quarterback. I don't know if that's coming from anything outside the fan base. Let's see here. If you're still believing in Daniel Jones at this point, you should be wonka.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
We don't get many Daniel Jones enthusiasts in the chat anymore, T-Brad. Colin says, I'm okay with whomever we draft. They'd just be the OBJ, obviously better than Jones. If we take Drake May, am I going to be upset? Probably not. If we take J.J. McCarthy, am I going to be upset? Probably. If we take Bo Nix, am I going to be upset? Possibly mildly. If we take Caleb, no, I'm not upset. If we take Jaden, no, I'm upset. If we take Penix, I'm more concerned. I'm more concerned if we take Penix than I would be upset. Let's see. If we get Jaden Daniels, I might cry. I think there will be a love-in when we get Jaden, if we get Jaden Daniels. The ghost of Gellerman's. It's the ghost of Gellerman. Jay, let's see. Zach says, do you think the 2020 class was the one of the best classes from? I would have to look. I hope tears of joy. Yeah, we got it. Tim, can you look at one of your connections and get a consensus? Who were? This is. You know what? I will. I actually will when we get a little bit closer. When we get a little bit closer, I will. We've been pretty good at picking. We've been pretty good at picking the drafts here. Well, actually, I haven't been picking. I just take information from people that give me information. I always give them credit. Heard the Jones are interested in Tulane quarterback from Marist friend off the Turnpike Rest stop. For those that do not know, there was information given to a certain group of YouTubers from a golfing buddy of John Mara. And I guess they did a whole video or show on it. We'll let you use your imagination. RF says, I think the kids believe in Santa for less time than the Giants fans believe in Daniel Jones. What do you mean? What are you talking about, RF? Santa's real. If Daniel Jones can get $160 million, yes, Santa's real. Penix is a high-risk injury. Once injuries, always injuries. It's true. Like I said, Penix kind of just, yes. Tears of joy. Penix worries the hell out of me. OG says, other than a quarterback in the first round, what are the other positions would you go, Tim? If we're not taking a quarterback in the first round, I would try to get a wide receiver. I probably would try to get a tackle. I would like the Giants also to dive back into the corner pool and see if we can't dip our toe into that a little bit and see. We do need it. We need a true edge rusher. We really do. Kayvon, like I said, Kayvon is an edge rusher. I was rephrase that. We need a true defensive end. So it's interesting. The 2000 class, I guess, was Tua Hurts. Well, it's only been a couple of years, so let's see how that plays out, Zach. Let's see how that plays out. T-Brad says, I can't wait for the draft to show. That's so much fun. Oh yeah, we love the draft show. T-Brad was on the draft show parts of last year and the other couple of years, and we'll have everyone on again unless I go to the draft party. But even if lights just went out. Even if I go, I was like, did the generator kick in? Even if I go to the draft party, we'll do the same thing we did last year, where I'll call in. I'll bring a couple of subscribers with me, and we'll call in from the draft party. Jay says, would you be interested in Jalen Monroe? He's improved, and everyone talks about that. I don't know. I really have to look into it. I want to talk about this season, though. Can we talk about this season? Let's see here. Maybe we draft Daniel Jones to LSU for Jason Daniels. Maybe we trade him. If we could trade Daniel Jones, I'd be down with that. T. Brad says wide receivers better be the first pick if it ain't quarterback. I agree, but the problem is who the hell's going to throw the ball to him? Do you think Chase is trending towards a bust? Here's what I'm saying. Here is what I'm saying. Okay, how can I phrase this? That's not going to get me in trouble. Like I really care if it's going to get me in trouble. Here's the thing, we just talked about it. If there was a guy that could potentially be a boom bust guy, and he is a guy with great talent, and talent ain't enough, Roy, said Roy Hobbs' father, there is an opportunity for Caleb to implode. Not a Josh Rosen implosion, but I have this feeling that there's, outside of talent, there's ancillary issues around Caleb that could cause him to be a bust. And I don't think it's going to be talent. I think there's going to be other outside factors, including personality, that could lead him to be maybe not a Ryan Leaf, maybe not an Art Schleister, but it could turn into a situation where his talent is overshadowed by these outside forces. And I think that's the best way I think I would put it for Caleb right now. Oh, I got Frank. The sounds of Sinatra and the way you look tonight. Greetings, Timmy. Should be releasing our players with 1-year contracts considering the season is over next week. No, it doesn't do you any good. It truly doesn't do you any good. There's nothing we need cap wise now. OG says I'd rather have a high offensive team than a defensive one because we're making it harder for now to play defenses like in the mid-90s. I agree. I actually agree with that. I would like defenses always tell you defenses will win championships, but yeah. Down DeVito's Yap is 6.6. Dan Jones is 4.1. We all know it. Listen, if Tyrod Taylor and an undrafted free agent rookie out of Syracuse, out of Illinois, who flamed out at Syracuse, can come in and perform better than your $160 million man, you made a mistake. Own it, Joe. Own it. You got a 497-year-old journeyman quarterback come in and win a game. You have the flame out from Syracuse and Illinois win 2 games and both look better than your $160 million man. Own that shit, Joe. Chase Young. Could Chase Young? No, because Chase Young's going to want to get paid. He's going to want to get the bag. Let's see. Homie had a hard start. Had a hard laughing at us. Homie had a hard restart. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. I'm just looking around like, I don't know what's going on over here. OG says, big ass mistake. What's a big ass mistake? Oh yeah, the 90s offense. I agree. Like I said, I would go with the philosophy you're building an offense, because look at Kansas City. Kansas City, I love Spags. His offense doesn't show up at times. Defense doesn't show up at times. But what's the one constant, one consistent in Kansas City besides Taylor Swift? Is their offense. Let's see here. What is good about this team? Andrew Thomas. He's good. He's good. Saquon Barkley's good. Kayvon's played well in spots. Banks is a beast. I think he's going to be good for a while. Dory Jackson, when he's playing on the field, has played well. Xavier and has played well at times, and same with Jason Pinnock. So there's plenty to like on the team. The problem is this: when you don't, and you know this, Zach, when you don't have a quarterback, that's when things go horribly wrong here. DeVito is the future. Future of what? I mean, I sometimes I don't know when people are being facetious, but I mean, what is he the future of? The league still doesn't have film on him. They're gonna figure him out quick.
Next Saturday night, we're sending you back to the future.
Saw all the Hendon Hooker Hyatt highlights. Would you trade down with Detroit for him and picks? Oh, I loved Hendon Hooker. I was not afraid of the age. I was not afraid of the injury. He's not going anywhere because Goff. I mean, he's not going to go anywhere in reference to Detroit because Goff is going to be the guy. I would trade for Hendon Hooker. I would trade for Hendon Hooker. And I would trade for Justin Fields. Mara should sell the Giants to Trump. Maybe he'll make us great again. Hey, Zach was trying to be positive. Well, Zach, we always love when you're positive. It's the positivity of the Zach that we just love. OG says, what would it take for the Giants to get their own stadium? I would say about $6 billion because it cost them 1.8 to build that dump. With inflation, cost of building prices, permits, location, you're looking at about $6 billion. It's not going to happen unless they move deeper into Jersey. Unless they find a spot in Brooklyn or in Queens or someplace, or maybe they glom on to, figure out a way to go into Citi Field or to Yankee Stadium, but that's not going to happen. Tommy is a future of a good backup. I agree. Tommy going to be the future headache future headache. Tim was wrong. I was wrong about Goff 100%. Jared Goff was the only quarterback I said I would not take over Daniel Jones. 100% wrong on Jared Goff, man. I thought he was a product of the Sean McDermott system, but he's just been something else. Would love to keep, like I said, I'd love to keep Tommy as a backup. Jay said Tyrod is gone, although he needs a Tyrod's fan, so not much of a good riddance. Yeah, I mean, like I said, Tyrod should retire. The Giants is in Queens would be so weird. You can't put him in Manhattan. So you got to put him in one of the you got to put him in one of the four other boroughs. So, or you got to move him somewhere in Jersey. But I would love for them to get their own stadium. I missed taking up the Turnpike, getting the 16W, turning that around, and seeing the big red Giant Stadium on the Meadowlands. I love that. That was so awesome. As a kid, man, that was an experience and a memory you never forget. Being positive is always a good thing, unless you're Magic Johnson. Jones is a mere mistake. He made Dable and Shane eat the contract. Oh yeah, Sean McVay. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I'm actually very tired. I had a long night last night. I'm very tired. But I didn't want to miss the Monday stream, so. And of course, if I didn't show up, the stream would be kind of short. We only have 37 likes, Zach. Am I reading that like? Am I literally reading that right, Zach? Aren't you supposed to tell me to tell people to tell people to tell people to tell me to tell people to like it? Get up to 40 people. You got 60 plus people in the room. I can't even get up to 40. I wanted Goff, and people laughed at me. I didn't laugh at you. But I didn't think he was going to be what he is. I really didn't. But I just thought he was. I thought he was a Sean McVay product. The Giants should just pay Archie Manning out of his transfer. They should. The Giants should just go to the transfer portal right now and go, can we get a quarterback? Can we Dave Brown this? Could they do that? No, they can't do that, Jay. Oh my God. Arnav says, how much do you think the mayors are paying Eli to say good things about Daniel? I love the Eli Manning video. Because I referred to it in one of my videos as the Eli Manning hostage video. Daniel Jones is good. I like Daniel Jones. He is the future of this organization. There is nothing wrong with Daniel Jones. Mars needs women. I even said during the video, Eli, blink if you need us to save you. If they're holding you at gunpoint, blink twice. We will be there. Hitting the like button is free. Yeah. Shit, I would if I could. Hell, listen, if I could go to the transfer portal, I'd go to the transfer portal. What about Josh No, I don't want Josh McDaniels anywhere near any team that I'm even associated or no. There is nothing wrong with Daniel Jones, the person. No, he might be a good guy. I don't know. The Manning cast, Eli Manning looked dead when DJ made the. Oh, he did in the Seattle game. Oh, dear Lord, he did. He did. There's nothing wrong with. I love this one. I love this one right here. There's nothing wrong with Daniel Jones. You will see in year 50. Douglas, drop it in one of the posts of the day. Josh McDaniels to the Eagles. Yeah, he's probably going to end up in the Eagles. Let's see. Who's the OC? Who's winning the game? Don't forget, everyone, the Knicks are in the play-in tournament. Oh, it's Jacksonville. That's right. I got to go watch the Jacksonville game, guys. I'm going to go put on my Josh Allen jersey, and I'm going to go watch the game. I think everyone should do the same. I wanted to thank everyone for dropping in. Wait, Mr. Alvarez says, I heard from a friend of a friend of a friend, his cousin, that Eli was told $180 million. That's he did that video. We're gonna go watch the game, guys. It's been a lot of fun tonight. I'm glad everyone was able to drop in and drop by, and I'm gonna drop out because you want to know why. This is Tim, this New York Giants trade zone, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Appreciate everyone being here. Jacksonville Bengals right now. Go watch it. You know, guys, I'm out of here.